Hey, this is Lee with Lord's Chimney, and welcome to Lunch with Lee. Today, we're talking about something that is vital right now because we've had a ton of rain. We had a hurricane, we had rain. I have my son dancing in front of me. But water leak repairs. What? How long do water leak repairs last? And that's a very, very controversial statement because it depends on what type of repairs you're doing. Because quite honestly, when you go to a painter or a roofer, they're doing temp fixes. I mean, if you're fixing holes with caulking, you generally get about less than a year. You get 6 months, 5 months, depending on how much water it is. Even just the brick itself, if you just put it into a like a bucket of water, the brick itself will absorb between a cup and a half all the way up to about 3 cups of water, and in that spectrum, just because the brick is porous. So you imagine all the bricks in your chimney, and they all absorb, let's say, even let's be shy, let's be on the bottom, a cup and a half of water. How much water is in your chimney? So waterproofing brick, making sure the mortar is stable is really, really important. Even if you're just tuck pointing, you're just sort of fixing, you're pointing, tuck pointing, you're just fixing some small holes. It's important that the rest of the chimney be correct too, that you have water repellent, something that breathes, something that doesn't just trap moisture in. Because if you go to Home Depot, Lowe's, as far as I know, most of their waterproof are number one year products. And number two, a lot of them are sealants. So it literally, if you have moisture in it already, it seals in moisture. It doesn't let water vapor out. So getting the mortar right, making sure it's the right color. Because in our market, and I know Jerry, who was just in our here for one of our coaching sessions, we have tons and tons of dyed mortars. So getting your mortar color correct, and then getting it a water repellent on the brick, and then the top of your chimney, depending on the type of chimney you have. Do you have a chase top, which is a metal like tabletop? Do you have a concrete crown? And generally, we don't even see those. We see splays, which is going to be just concrete in best case scenarios. A lot of times you'll hear people who don't really know what they're talking about real well just call them mortar crowns or mortar splays because they just use the leftover mortar from the brick on the top, makes them even softer, makes them more, they absorb more water, but concrete on the top. And then we put on something, a cap that covers the whole top of the chimney, plus has eaves because a proper crown extends past the brick. So like eaves on your house, the water runs away and not down the sides of the brick. So it doesn't absorb as much water. Even if we have water repellent on it, it means the water repellent lasts longer. It means everything works well. So even if you do everything right, there's a reason that we suggest and nationwide people suggest having your fireplace inspected once a year. Because even if we fix all the little holes and we get everything right, there's holes that are about ready to happen that we can't see. And unless we tear the whole thing down and put it back up, there's going to be some times where you're probably going to have stuff touched up. I know James just liked it. He's with Saver Systems. He does our water repellent. It's really important that you get everything right from top to bottom, flashing. There are product warranties, but they assume everything else is correct. So it's really, really, really important that we get everything done correctly the first time if you want a long lasting repair. Because most of the time, even other chimney companies, you're getting temp repairs. If it lasts 2 or 3 years, ask them what their warranties are. A lot of times you'll get 1 year. And there's a reason for that. It's not because if it's correct in 1 year, it'll be correct in 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not true. Often they'll say it's true because they don't go back like we do. We go back to the same chimneys every year and we can actually see how they age. It gives us very, very special knowledge into what kind of maintenance a chimney needs. Do our repairs actually stick and last a long time? How long do they last? And we know from our actual, if we're not rebuilding it from scratch and we've not on all the mortar, we're going to have to do some touch-up repairs. That's where we have memberships where we go back every year. And it's called the Healthy Hearth Club. And we check our work. We make sure we get feedback from our work, but we also touch stuff up. And if it's under warranty, it doesn't cost you anything to touch it up. But it's going to have to be touched up. It's not like you fix it and it's a 10-year warranty and for 10 years, you're good to go. That can happen, but a lot of times there's things we can't see. There's issues with mortar or brick or that the damage is already done. And if we've already fixed it, we'll go back and fix it at no cost. But you have to properly maintain it and you have to fix everything in order for this to be a long lasting quality repair. So when it comes to water leaks, if you have any questions, give us a call, schedule a virtual assessment. Sometimes I can sort of give you general ideas on what you're working with, what type of fireplace, how it's built. Certain neighborhoods in Beaumont or Houston, I've been around long enough or my people have been around long enough because we have employees that have been here for a long, long time, that we can have general ideas of what neighborhood problems generally happen so we can kind of guide you along. But we do free water leak assessments. We can come out, we figure out what's going on. We also need to figure out how long this thing has been leaking, and if there are problems with the chimney, you may need an inspection to see the insides of the chimney to see if there's actual damage. Because a lot of times chimneys leak and customers don't even know. They have no clue they're leaking at all until we show them drips inside their chimneys, water damage, all kinds of stuff. And it's been going on for a long time because it doesn't drip into areas you can see. It's just concealed areas. So when it comes to water leaks, get it professionally assessed. Don't assume that a roofer or a painter or even a mason knows about chimneys. We've had problems with masons doing repairs and they're doing what they saw on the last job. They're not doing correct repairs. They've never been educated. They don't know. So it's not their fault, but they're ignorant when it comes to fireplaces. And I'd be happy to teach them and train them. They just need to call me and we will guide them along the process. So that's it for today. Please like it, share it. We want to help as many people as possible. And thanks, James, for the like. And we will see you next time. Thank you.